The alien ship Valaris moved slowly through space. Smoke filled some of its hulls, warning lights flashed red, and the main engine was close to failure. Captain Rollins stood on the bridge and watched Earth grow larger on the screen. He did not like this plan. Humans had a strange name across the galaxy. Some species called them brave. Others called them dangerous. Rollin only knew one thing. His ship would not survive another hour without help. "Send the repair request," he ordered. For several seconds, there was no answer. Then a human voice came through the speakers. "Valaris, this is Earth Control. We see your damage. Stay on course. We are sending help." Rollin looked at his officers. The message sounded too calm. Minutes later, 3 human ships appeared beside them. They were not large warships. They were repair vessels. When the humans entered Valaris, they carried metal tools, medical boxes, and several strange cups. A human engineer named Mira Kane smiled at the crew. "Coffee?" she asked. Rollin stared at the dark drink. His ship was dying, and the humans were offering coffee. But Mira stopped smiling when she reached the engine room. She moved closer to the damaged reactor and found a small black device hidden behind a broken power line. Her face became serious. "Captain," she said, "this is not part of your ship." Rollin felt cold. Mira pulled the device free. "It is a tracker." Before anyone could speak, an alarm sounded across Valaris. Earth Control sent a new message. "Unknown ships detected at the edge of the system." Rollin looked at the screen. Hundreds of red signals appeared. The enemy had followed them. Mira took one slow drink of coffee. "We can fix your ship," she said. Then she looked toward the stars. "But first, we may have to survive a war." Captain Rollin expected the humans to repair only the broken parts of Valaris. He was wrong. The moment the ship entered Earth's main repair station, hundreds of human engineers surrounded it. Machines moved across the hull. Robots carried heavy metal plates. New cables were pulled through the damaged hulls. Rollin walked beside Mira Kane and watched everything carefully. "You are changing too much," he said. Mira looked at him. "Your ship almost died once. We do not want it to die twice." The humans replaced the old engine with a faster one. They added stronger shields. They covered weak parts of the ship with thick armor. Then Rollin saw something that made him stop. Human workers were installing new weapons. "We asked for repairs," he said. Mira smiled. "Those are repairs. Human repairs." For the first time, some of Rollin's crew laughed. Even the strange human coffee became popular. One young alien engineer drank 3 cups and refused to leave the machine room. But the good mood did not last. A human officer entered the station with a serious face. He placed a star map on the table. "The ships following you are Varkesh Dominion ships," he said. Rollin's eyes widened. The Varkesh were known for destroying weak worlds. Then the officer showed another signal. The enemy fleet was moving faster. Too fast. "They are not coming for your ship," the officer said. Rollin slowly looked toward Earth on the screen. "They are coming for this planet." Before anyone could answer, every speaker in the station turned on. A cold alien voice filled the room. "Earth, give us the Valaris. Refuse, and your world will burn." The room became silent. Rollin expected fear. Instead, Mira picked up her coffee. Then she said quietly, "They really should not have said that." The message from the Varkesh fleet played 3 times. "Give us the Valaris or Earth will burn." Captain Rollin looked around the human command room. He expected fear. He expected shouting. Instead, the humans became very quiet. That worried him more. Rollin stepped forward. "This is my fault," he said. "Give them my ship. My crew will leave Earth." Commander Hale looked at him. "No." Rollin blinked. "You do not understand. The Varkesh destroy planets." Hale gave a small smile. "We understand." A timer appeared on the main screen. 58 minutes remained. Then Earth began to change. Hidden doors opened under oceans. Large ships rose from deep water. Military stations came alive on the moon. Old satellites moved into new positions. Rollin stared at the screen. Where did all these ships come from? Mira stood beside him with a cup of coffee. Humans like backups. The timer reached 10 minutes. Varkesh ships moved closer. 5 minutes. Human fighters filled the sky. 1 minute. The Varkesh commander sent a final message. This is your last chance. Commander Hale pressed one button. His answer went across the whole system. Request denied. The first Varkesh weapons fired. Bright light crossed the darkness. Then Earth answered. Human ships moved faster than Rollin expected. Fighters attacked from strange angles. Missile groups changed direction in the middle of space. Enemy ships began exploding. But the Varkesh fleet was huge. For every ship humanity destroyed, 3 more moved forward. Then Mira received a message from the repair station. She looked at Rollin. Your ship is ready. Rollin turned toward the screen. The Valaris appeared. It no longer looked damaged. It looked dangerous. Mira handed him a small control key. There is one more upgrade, she said. Rollin frowned. What kind? Mira looked at the approaching enemy fleet. The kind we have never tested before. Captain Rollin ran onto the bridge of the Valaris. For a moment he thought he had entered the wrong ship. The controls were cleaner. The lights were brighter. New human systems covered the walls. Then the engine started. The whole ship shook. Rollin grabbed his chair. Is that normal? He asked. Myra's voice came through the speaker. For a human engine? Yes. The Valaris shot out of the repair station. In seconds it reached the battle. 3 Varkesh ships turned toward it. They fired. Rollin waited for the shields to fail. They did not. The first blast hit the Valaris and disappeared across the new armor. His crew stared at the screen. One officer whispered, "That should have killed us." Rollin looked at the human weapons controls. Fire. The Valaris answered. A bright beam crossed space. 1 Varkesh ship broke apart. Then another. The bridge became silent. The humans had not repaired their ship. They had turned it into a weapon. But the victory did not last. A warning appeared on the main screen. A massive Varkesh warship was moving toward Earth. It was bigger than anything Rollin had ever seen. Commander Hale sent an urgent message. That ship carries a planet-breaker cannon. Rollin felt his stomach tighten. How long? 7 minutes. The human fleet tried to stop it, but enemy ships blocked every path. Only the Valaris was close enough. Rollin looked at the strange new control key Mira had given him. A red symbol flashed beside it. Prototype system ready. Mira spoke again. That weapon can break their main shields. Rollin asked the question he feared. What happens to us? There was a short silence. We do not know. Rollin looked at his crew. No one moved. He placed the key into the control panel. Set course for the flagship. The Valaris turned. Straight toward the largest enemy ship in the sky. The Valaris raced toward the Varkesh flagship. Enemy fire filled the space around it. Captain Rollin could hear alarms across the bridge, but he kept his eyes on the red control key. Range? He asked. 20 seconds. An officer replied. The giant Varkesh cannon began charging. Earth was directly in front of it. Rollin knew there would be no second chance. Fire the prototype. The Valaris shook like it had been hit by a mountain. A white blast left the ship and struck the enemy flagship. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then the Varkesh shields collapsed. The bridge crew cheered, but the flagship was still alive. Worse, the Valaris lost most of its power. The lights went dark. Rollin stared at Earth. They had failed. A Varkesh voice came through the speakers. Humanity dies now. Then Commander Hale answered. No. Now you see the rest. Rollin looked at the main screen. New signals appeared behind the moon. Then more appeared near Mars. Then hundreds more came from the darkness beyond Earth. Warships. Thousands of them. Some were small and fast. Others were huge enough to carry entire fighter groups. Rollin slowly stood from his chair. This was hidden? Myra's voice came through the weak radio. Most of it. The Varkesh fleet suddenly stopped moving forward. For the first time, their formation broke. Human ships surrounded them from every side. Escape routes disappeared one after another. The Varkesh commander ordered a retreat. Too late. Human missiles struck their engines. Their weapons went silent. Ships began surrendering. But one small Varkesh vessel escaped through a jump gate. Rollin watched it vanish. Commander Hale did not sound worried. Let it go. Rollin frowned. Why? Hale looked toward the stars. Because someone needs to tell the galaxy what happened here. Hours later, that message reached every major world. Earth had not survived because it was lucky. Earth had survived because humanity had been ready. 3 days after the battle, Earth was quiet again. Damaged ships filled the repair docks, but the planet was safe. Captain Rollins stood inside the Valaris and watched human engineers move around his ship. He frowned. You are repairing it again? Mira smiled. Not exactly. Rollin looked at the new systems on the wall. You upgraded it again? Mira lifted her coffee. Maybe. For the first time in days, Rollin laughed. His crew had changed too. Many of them now carried human coffee cups. One officer had even asked Earth for a machine to make coffee during long missions. But outside the station, something much bigger was happening. Messages arrived from across the galaxy. The Galactic Council wanted a meeting. Several powerful worlds asked for military alliances. Even species that once called humans dangerous now called Earth a trusted partner. Rollin understood why. The galaxy had finally seen what humanity could do. Humans had not fought because they wanted power. They fought because someone had asked for help. Before leaving, Rollin met Commander Hale and Mira one last time. You saved my crew, Rollin said. Hale shook his head. You gave us a reason to stand together. Rollin looked through the station window. Hundreds of human warships waited outside. They were preparing to escort the Valaris safely home. Rollin smiled. We came to Earth for repairs. Mira handed him one final cup of coffee. And you got repairs. Rollin looked at the fleet. And all of this? Mira smiled. Free upgrade. Hours later, the Valaris left Earth with a human fleet behind it. Across the galaxy, leaders watched in silence. They had learned one simple lesson. Humanity could be the best friend in the stars. But anyone who threatened that friendship would face something much worse. They would face Earth.